Good morning, I am Tracy Spence with your newscast. This newscast is brought to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m., on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. Now for the news in details. President of the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, Dr. Warren Smith, has called for the completion of regional integration projects in order to grow economies and advance the standard of living across the Caribbean in the novel coronavirus pandemic aftermath. Speaking at a virtual station of the CDB's 50th annual general meeting held last week, Smith said that the countries of the region need to exploit the full potential of the integration if local firms are to gain access to larger protected markets in which they could grow. He said that this could also serve as a useful launching pad for countries that may want to tap into the global market. The CDB president in his address also called for a stronger private sector engagement in leading the charge for sustainable advancements in society and export expansions. Antigua and Barbuda on Monday questioned its categorization by the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) as a Level 3 high-risk destination from which travelers arriving in the U.S. would have to go into quarantine. Antigua and Barbuda's ambassador to the United States, Sir Ronald Saunders, in a letter to the CDC, the U.S. State Department, and the Governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo, called for an urgent review of the true and verifiable conditions in the country regarding its control and prevention of the coronavirus COVID-19. The diplomat said that the facts would indicate that at worst, Antigua and Barbuda should be categorized as a Level 1 low-risk destination, and more accurately, the Caribbean islands should be on the list of countries requiring no travel health notice since the COVID-19 risk is very low. He argued that the country's performance in preventing and containing the virus is equal to many of the countries and better than others that require no travel health cautions. Meanwhile, the International Labour Organization, ILO, has warned of the need to adopt immediate strategies to face the labour crisis caused by the COVID-19, which has led to the loss of at least 34 million jobs in Latin America and the Caribbean. The situation could generate an amplification of inequalities in the region, even as early indications of recovery have been observed in recent weeks. During a press conference last week, the ILO released the second edition of its labor overview in times of COVID-19 impacts on the labor market and income in Latin America and the Caribbean, in which it warns of drastic contraction of employment and income. The report highlighted that as of the third quarter of 2020, a recovery in the levels of economic activity is detected, and the first data reveal a beginning of recovery in employment and a return to the labor force. In sports, former national assistant coach Miguel Colley says the Jamaica Football Federation, JFF, must act quickly in building good relationships with clubs as the Reggae Boys face a hectic 2021 football season. The Reggae Boys will have a stacked schedule starting from June of next year, when they play 4 games in that month during their World Cup final round qualifying campaign. 3 of those games will be away fixtures to CONCACAF powerhouse teams Mexico and the United States, along with perennial contenders Costa Rica. The following month, the boys will take part in the Gold Cup, which runs from July 10 to August 1st. With Theodore Whitmore and his staff looking at a possible 10 games in 7 weeks, Colley believes the management of players will be critical as the boys push to qualify for a second FIFA World Cup and make another deep run at the Gold Cup. And that is it for the news. This newscast came to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m., on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Tracy Spence. To have a good morning.